Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I have had a lot of people asking me for my thoughts on Balenciaga's Flora Botanica, which I have recently welcomed into my collection. So I thought I would share my thoughts on Flora Botanica with you today, but I thought this was a great opportunity to share with you 5 of my favorite rose fragrances. So if you're interested, then definitely stay tuned. If this is your first time here, hello, and thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail. My name is Alithia, and on this channel we talk mostly about perfumes. We also sometimes do a little bit of home decor, decluttering, fashion, lifestyle, and those types of things. So if that is your thing, definitely make sure to head on down and hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started. So coming in at number 5, we have Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel. So this is one of my favorite Chanel fragrances. This one has quite a prominent note of orange. It also has quite a hefty dose of patchouli. It has tonka bean. And of course, it also has that rose. So there is a little bit of a freshness in the opening. You've got some bergamot. There's also some yellow flowers in there. And to be honest, I don't really smell the rose a whole lot in here, but it is one of the more prominent flowers that's in here. And I think that one of my favorite combinations of all time is rose and orange. Yeah, it's just a beautiful perfume. It's a beautiful, soapy, classy, sometimes sexy, everyday kind of perfume. I don't need to spend too much time talking about it because everybody has heard of Coco Mademoiselle, but for me it's kind of a must-have. I can't imagine not having this in my collection. It has really good performance as well. I have had the Coco Mademoiselle Intense before, and I have chosen to get rid of it because I just prefer this one so much more, and I am trying to focus, especially these months, on having fewer, better fragrances, so fewer fragrances in my collection that I'm going to be wearing more often. So such a clean, classy, soapy fragrance, just beautiful, and I cannot wait for the summer months so I can wear this one again. So coming in our number 4 spot is another very popular designer fragrance, and I'm sorry you guys, I do not mean to be repetitive, but everyone knows I love this fragrance. So this is Miss Dior Eau de Parfum from Christian Dior. So this is a very rose dominant fragrance, but again, I don't get a ton of that like in your face, fresh, clean cut, like old smelling or mature smelling rose. This is a very youthful, flirtatious, sweet rose fragrance. This has a little bit of pink pepper, it has blood orange, it has sweet orange, mandarin, it also has some lemon and some bergamot, so you've got like a tiny bit of citruses in the opening, but you do get a hefty dose of orange. It also has patchouli, but not quite as much patchouli as your Coco Mademoiselle did. So I think the difference between this one and the Coco Mademoiselle is this one is basically a sweeter version with less patchouli. So it's not quite as soapy, it's a little bit more flirtatious, it's a little bit more fun-loving and flirty, and still this could be an everyday classy signature scent. Yeah, I haven't worn it like recently. I have not worn it, but this is like a lifer for me. It's one that I really need to make myself wear more often. It's just that I think because I have so many perfumes, unfortunately some of my favorites seem to sit there because I'm like experimenting with so many new ones, but I do need to make myself wear this. This is a favorite. So that is Miss Dior from Christian Dior. In our number 3 spot, we have this absolutely gorgeous fragrance from Chloe, and this is Chloe Absolue de Parfum. If you guys watch my channel, you know that this is one of my favorite fragrances, and this is my all-time favorite Chloe fragrance. So this one has only 3 notes that they have listed, which is vanilla, rose, and patchouli. And again, the patchouli in this is not very strong. It is not like an in-your-face patchouli that bothers people or gets to people or makes them feel sick or anything like that. This is very much a classy, clean, soapy rose fragrance. So it smells a little bit similar to the original Chloe's, except it's a little bit toned down. It's not so sharp, it's not so citrusy, and it definitely has a little touch of that vanilla in there, which to me sort of gives it this soapy quality. So when I smell this, I think about an expensive spa soap is what it reminds me of. It doesn't smell as soapy as something like Bubble Bath from Maison Margiela, which actually smells like soap. This one is just clean, classy, feminine, sophisticated, effortless, everyday. It's not as, I wouldn't say it's as sexy as Coco Mademoiselle or Miss Dior. It's not quite as flirtatious. This is more of an everyday grab and go, clean, pretty scent. But I absolutely love it. And again, this one has good performance as well. And I also get compliments when I wear this one. In my number 2 spot, we have Elena Exclusive. So I would have actually put the Flora Botanica before this one because this is one of my favorite fragrances. But I did want to save sort of the best for last, or like my new one for last today. So this is Elena Exclusive. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because I've talked about it so many times before and it's very popular. But this is one of my favorite rose fragrances. And as you guys probably know if you watch my channel, I'm not huge into like super freshly cut rose fragrances. Something like A La Rose from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, I really like that one, but I don't know, I just tend to go more toward the sweeter roses, the woodier roses, or citrusy. Like it has to have something different, not just straight up rose. So this one is a beautiful, creamy, vanillic kind of a rose fragrance. I think there is some incense in here. There's lychee. It's got like a very sweet, fruity opening, and it has a little bit of a creamy, vanilla, woody dry down. And honestly, you guys, I just don't have anything in my collection that smells quite like Elena. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so unique and so beautiful. It's such a gorgeous fragrance. Yeah, again, top 10 for life. Couldn't imagine not having this. When I wear this one, I feel very sophisticated, very put together, very expensive, very feminine. It's a very feminine fragrance. And this has incredible lasting power. 1 or 2 sprays on the inside of your arm and you will be able to smell it for the whole rest of the day. And if you get it on your clothing, it's going to be there the next day. It doesn't leave. It is fairly expensive, but it's something that I really covet and something I really value having in my collection. And I'd rather spend, you know, a little bit of extra money and get something worth a lot of value to me than spend a little bit here, a little bit there, and not really be happy with what I have. So I think this is totally worth the price, and I absolutely love it. So that is my second last one on our list today. That is Elena Exclusive. Okay, you guys, and on to the last one and the most exciting one from today's video. So this is Flora Botanica from Balenciaga. And this is one that you guys, I have told you guys so many times that I don't like. I've told you, if you watch any of my other videos, I think I've mentioned it at least twice, that this was not a perfume I cared for, and it was not one that I wanted to have in my collection. And every time I would go into my local store that had it, I would go back to it and smell it because I knew it was a favorite. A lot of people loved it. And I would go back and sniff it and have them spray it on paper. And I think I even had them spray it on my skin at one point. And I just wasn't wowed by it, and every time I smelt it, I talked myself out of getting it. I was like, no, that's too strange, it's too green, I don't really like it. I also didn't really care for the cannabis note that is in here. However, then the other day I saw that somebody had said it was possibly discontinued. I knew my store had 2 bottles, so I rushed out and grabbed one because I thought, you know what, it's one that I keep going back to, and I thought, what if one day I realize I like it and I can't get it anymore? So I went out and got this one. This was the only one they had left. This is the 100 ml, and now I'm really happy that I actually ended up with the 100 ml bottle. So first of all, I have to say, I didn't think I liked the bottle design when I first saw it, but the more that I have it, the more it's starting to actually grow on me. And I actually kind of like the bottle now and think it's kind of cool. So, okay, where do I begin with this fragrance? Once I got it home and sprayed it in the box and sprayed it in the air around me, sprayed it on my clothing, sprayed it on my skin, and just kind of took some time with it, you guys, I realized what I had been missing, and I understood why the hype was so real with this fragrance. And that's not the first time it's happened. Sometimes you just have to be given either a large sample or something to be able to play with in the comfort of your own home before you can decide if you really like something. And it's just another testament that sniffing in store is not always the best way to test fragrances. So this is such a unique, beautiful floral fragrance. Again, this is a rose-centric fragrance, but there is also carnation in here, which is interesting because I normally don't like carnation. There's a couple of other floral fragrances out there that have carnation that I do not care for. But in here, for some reason, it really works. So this also has notes of mint in the opening. In the mid, it has rose carnation and cannabis. And in the base, it has vetiver and amber. And basically what I get from this fragrance, you guys, is a fresh, very green rose scent with sort of an earthy, woody dry down. It is beautiful, you guys. It's actually beautiful. So here I am eating my words, completely eating my words. This is a gorgeous fragrance. So I just took the lid off so that I could give it another refresher here for you guys. I think it looks much prettier without the lid on it. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, it is so bizarre to me how I hated it, like not hated it, but I didn't like it in the store. And now that I have it at home and I come up to the bottle and sniff it, how much I like it. And I think part of that is that when you sniff the atomizer, you're getting a little bit of that dry down. And these days in stores, of course, they're not letting you go up and sniff atomizers. They're only letting you spray on paper, and they're actually spraying for you. So all you ever get in the store is like that alcohol-y opening. All you're getting is an alcoholic sort of an opening, plus you're putting it on paper, which always changes the way the fragrance smells. It is so beautiful. It's dry. It's got a very like dry green quality to it. The cannabis is there, which I know some people find off-putting, and at first I didn't care for the cannabis note either, but it's only there very briefly and it mixes in really well with the rest of the notes. And after that starts to dry down, what you're left with is a little bit of that floral quality, and it does remain a very green, sort of a dry smelling fragrance, very dry, classy, and then you get a bit of that woodiness. And you guys, this lasts forever. This has such good lasting power. Like for being a floral fragrance, on my skin, I get at least 6-7 hours plus. I wasn't really sure. I probably would have got more, but I showered. This lasted forever on my skin, and on your clothing as well. This lasted me until I washed my shirt. It just doesn't go away. It's a very, very long lasting fragrance. And if you're not sure about this one, or if you think you like it, or you're not sure, I would encourage you to get a bottle, because even if you don't like it, you can probably sell it. And sometimes when you bring it home and you actually wear it at home, you see where the hype is. And to me, this is just a very classy, everyday grab and go perfume. I think this would make an excellent signature scent because it is so unique and it's so fresh and so feminine, and it does smell expensive. It has a very expensive, sophisticated, classy aura about it that I just didn't understand it till I got it home and tried it. So something I love about this one is it does have that mint in there. It's got that mint in the opening, and the mint and the cannabis and the vetiver, it makes it into like this very interesting combination of like a slightly fresh, very green, dry, woody, floral fragrance. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. That's all I have to say about it. And now it's one of my favorites. So you guys, go figure. It's so bizarre how you can swear against a fragrance and then, you know, a couple months later you can actually have a better experience with it, and then it becomes a favorite. And that's happened with me. That's happened to me with numerous fragrances as well. Yeah, you really have to, you know, take your time. And also it's a reminder too that we're all human and we all change our minds and we all change our tastes. So yeah, never write anything off until you've actually, I guess, given it a fair shot. So those are my thoughts on the Flora Botanica from Balenciaga. I think it's so beautiful, and currently it's one of my favorite new purchases. So that was it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts on these fragrances. Please let me know down below if you have a favorite rose fragrance or a fragrance that I should go and check out. And if you haven't already, feel free to head on over and follow me on Instagram, where I share a lot of little tidbits about my life that I don't usually share here on YouTube. And I'll see you guys all next time. Bye for now.